Now, longtime viewers of this channel, they know already. But if you are new to this channel, you might not be aware that the hit movie The Sixth Sense by M. Night Shyamalan is based on a true story. Based on the story of my life. See, I was hanging out at the Taco Bell on Encino Boulevard in California. They have like outdoor tables and people leave stuff behind, right? So I'm hanging out there, and this guy, he eats like half of his burrito and he sets it aside. So I go up to him. I'm like, hey man, are you gonna finish that? And he's like, no, you go right ahead, right? Nice guy, yeah? So we get to talking, and he tells me that he'd come out to Hollywood to make movies. He's gonna be a big shot director, right? So I says to the guy, I says to him, I say, oh, you know what would make a great movie? And I tell him the story, right? The story of my life. And, he'd given me half his burrito. I figure, pay it back, Even if it was a chicken burrito, which isn't a true burrito, really. But it's the thought that counts, Then, a year later, I see this guy's name on a movie poster, right? M. Night Shyamalan for the movie The Sixth Sense. I'm like, wow, hey, I know that guy. So I sneak into the theater to see the movie. There's this guy I knew, Brandon. He worked as an usher at the AMC in Castle Heights, and he owed me a favor. Actually, he didn't owe me a favor. I promised I would keep what we did a secret, but still, he would let me in for free, which isn't blackmail because I never threatened to tell. Still, so he lets me in, and I see the movie, and I'll be a hemorrhoid on a duck's behind if they didn't use my life story for their movie, pretty much beat for beat. They even had Bruce Willis playing the role of me, which I also play the harmonica, and I also was cheated on by Demi Moore, so it's pretty much spot on, The only real difference is I was in the movie. Bruce Willis plays a child therapist. I was never a child therapist. M. Night, he asked me what I did for a living, and there was a male strip club across the street from the Taco Bell, and I was thinking of either being a male stripper or joining the army. So I point to the strip club and I said, oh, I'm a try out there or enlist. And there was a lot of noise like at the Taco Bell, so he must have heard I'm a child therapist, I guess. Which I never said, But he just must have misheard me. I was never a child therapist. Once I was at a playground and I made a kid stop crying. He was just making a lot of noise, and I told him that he was making a scene and he should stop, and he did. But I didn't get paid for that, which I should have. There were a lot of parents at the playground. They could have come together and each chipped in a buck or two, for my efforts. If they didn't, I should have passed around a hat, actually. But at the time, I didn't have a hat. So that's on me, I suppose. Anyway, in the movie, Bruce Willis is like a trained child therapist. I don't remember if he had a hat or not. But he's spending a lot of time trying to help this kid who always sees dead people. And I wasn't spending time with a kid, but I was spending a lot of time with a crack addicted prostitute named Scolina. And Scolina was always saying, I see dead people, always, right? But Scolina, she didn't mean like she sees ghosts. Like Scolina, she literally was seeing dead people, A lot of her clients would end up dead, which if you knew Scolina, you understand. She had some bacterial issues she was dealing with, I suppose. So anyway, that's pretty much the only deviation. I mean, in the movie, they didn't use a scabby sex worker / crack enthusiast. Instead, they used a child actor named Haley Joel Osment, which I suppose is close enough, right? That's pretty much the only difference. Oh, also, in the movie, at the end, Bruce Willis discovers that he is dead. But in real life, like, I knew I was dead like the whole time, right? It was not like a big reveal or anything. I knew what was going on. I mean, I had been with Scolina a few times already by then. You're on a soiled mattress in a crack house with a prostitute and nothing happens once? Okay, maybe you're having a bad night. But 3 times, and you know you're dead. So there's not a big reveal. I knew what was going on. And in the movie also, Bruce Willis is shot by a mental patient, which is exactly what happened to me, right? And just like in the movie, I didn't feel anything. At the time, I was on a clinical trial for experimental pain medication, and one of the other patients shot me, like as a joke, which it was pretty funny, but it was like you had to be there kind of funny, and yeah, and I didn't feel anything, obviously. And but then I saw Scolina a few more times, and then I realized, yeah, I was dead. So the reveal was done a little bit differently in the film, but basically the same idea. So I see this movie, and I'm flattered, right? Because they made a movie about my life. Even if they forgot to put in the part about me inventing the bacon cheeseburger burrito, which is how I ended up on the medical trial for pain medication, incidentally. But they left that out for some reason. I mean, M. Night wasn't taking notes when I was telling him the story, so he must have just forgotten that. But it's still a good movie, So I see the movie, and I'm flattered, and I go to the studio for my royalty checks, right? Because at the time I was living in the back of a deli on Malcolm Avenue, and the owner, Ozan, he wasn't always great about getting me my mail, so I figured he must have just forgot or something. So I go to the studio, and no one at Buena Vista Pictures had any royalty check for me. And they wouldn't give me M. Night Shyamalan's phone number, which is pretty freaking rude, huh, if you ask me. Yeah. And I kept going back to that Taco Bell on Encino Boulevard, but I never saw M. Night again. I guess after his big hit, he must have found a better Taco Bell to go to. Never saw him again. So even though it's great that they made a movie about my life, I never made a single penny from it. So if you've seen The Sixth Sense, maybe throw a bit of love my way. Give the video a like or a super like, subscribe to the channel, that sort of thing. And also, if you know where I can find Scolina, because they closed down the Waffle House on Westwood, and I haven't seen her since. So if you know where I could find Scolina, maybe let me know in the comment section below. That'd be appreciated. And thank you for watching. I'll see you at the next video.